Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, and I hope everybody is having a blessed day today. Welcome to He Set Me Free, the actual channel that I'll be referring to is Rideshare Parallel Universe. This was actually how I started my channel a couple years ago whenever I started talking about rideshare. So if I get a chance, I will keep it as He Set Me Free and probably do something like RPU, Rideshare Parallel Universe or something. I got to figure it out. Anyway, all my videos will have an opening of Rideshare Parallel Universe. And the reason for that is because driving out on the roads, you sometimes feel that you are in a parallel universe, to be quite honest. And with everything that I've shared thus far and the things that these companies do like Uber and Lyft, it doesn't seem natural. It doesn't seem like it should be happening on this plane of the universe, that it is something that's happening that you can't see, like a parallel universe. So I just want to kind of make that clear for y'all today. But I want to talk about yesterday's video with regards to the spreadsheet that I did. By doing these spreadsheets, it offers a lot of informative information. Trends of the day. You can start to pick up patterns over multiple days if you look back over your sheets. You can start to look at general price ranges, how much Lyft takes, whether it be Lyft itself or the external holdings. You can visually see the percentage. If you do it right, you can see the percentage of each ride that they give you, how much your breakdown is. You can look at averages of time. You can also look at distance to pickup, which I started adding in today's chart, to from pickup to drop off, and then your total mileage. There's all kinds of information that can be used. Whenever they say numbers don't lie, as long as you don't fudge the numbers, they are spot on. And it can also tell you in and of itself how the app might be working. And if you do this for long enough, you'll start to see these patterns. Like this morning, one of the things that I noticed was I was having to travel 4.4 miles to go pick somebody up. Now that changed with my second ride to 6.2, and the mileage was just a little bit longer, but it's kind of you can kind of see of a trend. Now where it got threw off at on today's was I had a long distance trip down to Austin. That threw everything off. However, with that being said, my mileage for my last three rides was significant. And I noticed that in yesterday's numbers that my pay to mileage was starting to catch up to my mileage, and I was going to overtake my earnings to mileage. They started sending me on longer rides, meaning longer pickups and longer drop-offs. And what this does is it creates a gap. And so where I drove 102 miles yesterday for the $85 that I made, if I would have gotten shorter routes, they would have pretty much stayed dollar for dollar per mile. But what it ended up being was it stretched it out to that 87 cents per mile that I drove. And that's valuable information, because when you start to get a trained eye by looking at this and start seeing that, hey, I'm doing really good here, now all of a sudden I'm getting longer trips, the mileage is starting to outpace the income. You want the income to start outpacing the mileage. And that's where you really start to make your money. As long as that mileage outpaces your income, they'll start to create that gap. And that's exactly what they want, because they want you to use more gas. That is their whole point. If they can get you to use more gas and to get you to drive more miles, all right, then essentially they can charge, in a theoretical world, they can charge the passenger more money. This is one of the reasons why Lyft does not change its mileage, no matter if you take shortcuts or not. Okay, if you take shortcuts, they're still going to charge that passenger the exact same amount. They're not going to take anything off. But their goal is to get you to use more gas. If they can get you to put more gas in that tank, then you have less to take home. They want you to put more miles on your car. Okay, I had 15 rides yesterday, and I made, when it was all said and done, with tips and bonuses, $101. Okay, but I drove 102 miles minus the tips and stuff, which was $17. That brought me back down. Okay, so you're talking back into the 80s. That's what they want. All right, so this is where the parallel universe comes in, because things will look like they're going fine, and then all of a sudden you'll flip into, and things don't look familiar anymore because it's not the way it does. It'll start out great. You'll get short rides, and then they'll try to stretch it out. See, I was getting a whole bunch of short rides. Those rides add up, and the miles aren't that great. So what do they want to do is they want to outpace your mileage to your income. That's what they're looking for. Uber does the exact same thing. Make no mistake about it. The problem is I think people are really starting to catch on, because I've been getting a lot more rides here in Waco on Lyft and not so many on Uber. I think people are starting to catch on. They're tired of being gouged. The drivers aren't driving for Uber as much because the money's not there. People are paying attention, so it's picking up on Lyft. If you can drive for both of them, do it. But you'll probably have a higher return whenever it comes to Lyft. I am not promoting one over the other. I've said that before. That's very important for you to understand. But this week has been pretty good. I've said all along since last month, all I've got to do is get through May. May is a very tough month for rideshare because you have high school graduations, you've got schools that are getting ready to let out, colleges let out, things fall off. But once you start getting into the summer months and tourism starts to pick up, things like that, then things pick back up again. And money starts to go back up because people are traveling. Lyft has been charging more, but they've been taking more too. Make no mistake about it. They have been taking more. That long distance ride down to Austin today, they charged the passenger $171. They paid me $100 before toll. They gave me $1.29, which is what it costs on Mopac to drop them off. Fortunately enough, I have a Texas toll tag. I don't have to worry about it because it's a preloaded account. So they made $71 and I think it was 89 cents off that ride. Okay. When you see numbers like that, it can be a little discouraging. But I had a feeling that it might be slow here in Waco. If I would have stayed in Waco, I probably would have made about $100, maybe to $115, maybe $120. And I wouldn't have had to have put 200 miles on my car. But I had a really great conversation with the ladies. They were awesome. Too bad it was a third-party app. I got no tip. It is what it is. But I have found out from taking people from Waco down to Austin, they never tip. And I mean never tip. If they are flying into the Austin airport, they're flying into the Austin airport because it's a cheap flight. The ride is cheaper with rideshare. And so therefore they're looking for cheapness. They never tip. Not one time in the entire time have I carried people down to the Austin airport have they ever, and I mean they've never tipped. Ever. And I'm talking about 40 or 50 times. Dallas and Fort Worth, you got about a 90% chance of whether people are going to tip or not. Maybe 80%. So you stand a better chance. So this is where the parallel universe comes in, because sometimes things just seem upside down. And that's what it's all about. Whenever you look at these numbers and you really look at them hard, if you do spreadsheets and you do chart and do a physical chart with what they say, a picture can say 1,000 words, it literally means it. Whenever you see it in visual and you see those hard numbers there that you put in, then it all makes sense. And then you can start seeing patterns. You can start seeing trends, things like that. I use my tablet and I use notes. And this is what I do. I will show y'all right now that I take and I put down all my information. I can't show it too close because it's got addresses on it too. And I was trying to do something with Google Sheet Maps. It didn't work, so I won't do addresses anymore. Because I wanted to see trends of areas, but I already know up here how Lyft works and how Uber works. But I physically do that, and whenever you do that as you're driving, also too, even if it's a pen and piece of paper, you know, that you quickly write down the amount of the ride, what time you pick them up, what time you drop them off, the total mileage, you know, how much it costs, or like what I started doing today, the miles to pick up and the miles to drop off, because I wanted to see if there was any trends there or any patterns that the AI might be trying to do. And I saw it at once and then it all changed on me. But I saw it yesterday too, okay, that I was having to drive, and I saw it the day before that. So whenever you start picking up these trends, then you can kind of prepare yourself. The money will be all over the place. But sometimes, like the day before yesterday, all my rides were under $8 a ride. And it was very, 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 very specific, okay? And the miles that I was having to drive, okay? And the areas of pickup, which I knew up here, you know, things like that. Once you can start doing things, seeing patterns like this, then you know what to expect. All right. So I hope this helps everybody out. Look for more. I'm trying to get a little bit better on my YouTube channel with doing like thumbnails, like what you see a lot of people doing on YouTube, to make it more appealing. To start casting out to a wider audience that does rideshare, Uber, and Lyft. So look forward to that. It's something that gives me something to do while I'm watching TV, or aka listening to Criminal Minds on the TV, and it allows me just to do something. So I hope everybody has a blessed day, and we will talk to y'all later.